who had sold the most merchandise, who had the biggest pay-per-view buy rates. It's nothing concrete. It ultimately comes down to 2 or 3 people sitting in an office in Connecticut deciding if they like you or not. You know, I mean, it's like the guy was asking about the world belt. It's not really based on skill. It's like, well, I don't know. He tends to get a little crazy. Can we trust him with our belt? It's, you know, if it happens, it happens. I don't think I'm going to lose any sleep over it.
I was at that first Hall of Fame tour. It was actually King of the Red that preceded, but
how the fuck did I miss it?
It was WrestleMania 10. It was in '94.
King of the Red.
Don't you start with me, buddy.
Somebody Google that.
No, but actually the first one was really cool because Bobo Brazil, I mean, some of you people know it. Well, Andre was inducted before they had a ceremony. Fred Blassie, you know,
God rest his soul.
Chief J. Strongbow, may rest in peace. I mean, there are a lot of guys like that.
You know you're old and all your friends are dead.
Yeah, but this is what I was over 30.
That's more questions. There's quite a lot over here. Can everyone on this side? Run faster. Slowest man in the world.
Here you go, son. Take your time, brother. I got a lot of bosses, but this little dweeb in one of them. I'm only serious.
Me too, Scott.
My question's here for John. Obviously, when you left WCW, it was kind of unceremoniously with the way that Bischoff fired you. But before that, was there any plans for what you were going to do with Six going forward? I mean, I know a little bit later they did the storyline with Nash and Hogan and the NWO splitting up. Was there any talks about the Wolfpac or anything at all?
You know, my recollection of things, okay, first of all, I had a broken neck, and I had surgery, and I was out for 10 months, and Eric got pissed at these 2 guys, and he couldn't punish them, so he fired me while I was sitting at home. But before that, I was trying to work through my injury because I was trying to get a raise. That was the main thing I was trying to do. Because I was being used in main event matches, you know, with these 2 cats right here. Because, like, you know, we were NWO, but we were Wolfpac separately. Like, I remember when we first did the Wolfpac, started doing the Wolfpac, we just went into business for ourselves, kind of. And was it Hulk come to TV one time with Hollywood's Wolfpac written on his boots?
Those motherfuckers ain't gonna see TV, dude.
No, but the truth is, they didn't really know what direction they were heading in, as far as I can tell, because sometimes, like half an hour before the show went live, they'd be crumpling up the run sheet and starting over from scratch. So I don't know. I have no idea. I don't think they have any plans whatsoever.
Yeah, we had a 3-hour show on Mondays called Nitro, and I can't, on my hands, my feet, and then these guys' hands and feet, I could not count how many times we went to the ring without a finish for the main event. That's not bullshit. That fucking show was like a torpedo fucking call. And torpedo right side. What? Go out with your music. What are we doing?
To me, it was actually just short of a miracle that those shows were as good as they were. And they were as good as they were strictly based on the talent, in my opinion, because, I mean, it was such a clusterfuck.
Grab us more on this side.
And coming down here. You go, sir.
My name's Darren, this is one directed at Scott. I became a big fan of you when you came back to the WWF back in 2002. Can you tell us a bit about working with Stone Cold and The Rock, and particularly the ambulance episode where you crashed the ambulance into The Rock's, sorry, you crashed the semi into The Rock's ambulance. Other question is for all 3 of you, what's your opinion of the Shields?
I only got to work with The Rock, it seems like once or twice, and I really enjoyed it. You know, I mean, look where he's at today. I mean, this dude's a star. He was a star when he walked in the locker room. And it's really fluid.
Hey, Dave, what's your thoughts on Bret Hart's screw job? And what did you think about it at the time? And did you know about it before it happened?
Obviously, we were already in WCW doing that NWO thing. And I remember Kevin and I taking time out to call Bret one time because Bischoff wanted Bret to come, and we called Bret, and I wasn't that close to Bret. And I said, hey, it's pretty sweet here, man. We can do whatever we want. Come on down. He chose to stay. But to me, when I saw the match and what went down and heard the background, I think they did the right thing. I think Sean and Baby Earl and the office did the right thing. We're not going to let you take our belt to another company, Bret. That's what we don't care how cool you think you are. And I'm a big Bret Hart fan, but, it's not okay, Bret. The pay-per-view was in Canada, granted. But if people here watched it in Scotland, you kind of forget that it's in Montreal, right? It's just another pay-per-view event. I think Bret was a little caught up in it being in Canada and being in Canada. I don't think Bret did business, so like they said, they did business for him.
Well, I was just going to say that the downside of that entire thing was the conversation eventually led to Scott having a Favored Nations contract, or Favored Nations clauses contract, and we both, once I had the same representation that Scott did, that I immediately had it also, in order for fucking Bret to come in. Bret came in at about 2.5, which was probably about 4 or 5 times more than he ever made in a year when he came into WCW. So, you might have got fucked in Montreal, but you got paid like a motherfucker when you came to Atlanta. And that's because these 2 motherfuckers right here, and we're clicked, so if there was some assassination fucking thing in Daily Plaza, we were in the book depository. Promise you that.
For anybody that's wondering what the most favored nation clause is, it means that nobody can come in and make more than these guys. So, just for anybody that was wondering what that meant. And as far as this Montreal screw job, I have a different take. I'm a little bit of a conspiracy theorist. And I even confronted Bret about this. I'm like, come on, Bret. You mean to fucking tell me that you didn't see that coming a mile away when fucking they called when you're putting the match together and they had Sean put in your own finish after you were doing the job? Come on. Honestly, in my opinion, I think it's really possible that Bret was in on it, and Vince was in on it, and everybody else was the fucking marks.
This is the one thing I say. Vince McMahon and the federal government up his ass on like 28 counts of steroid abuse, steroid distribution. That motherfucker no-sold everything that ever happened. But yet on the documentary, he comes out selling the fucking punch that Bret hit him with. and it's their fucking tape.
But you don't see the punch.
You don't see the tape, it's just like, come on, motherfucker, please.
You don't hear the audio, even though they were like. So, it very well could be.
It's a work. Everything's a work. Government's a work. There's a bunch of fuckers out right now looking at a big fucking owl. You know what I'm talking about.
Bohemian Grove?
Little Bohemian Grove, look it up on Google. You like that, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. That's a long part already. It's a good chat.
Yeah, we've got a question down the front here. You go, man.
Was it harder going from the WWE to the WCW or going back to the WWE after being in WCW?
I hated leaving. It was the WWF back then, and we finished up in Madison Square Garden, and like Kev was in a cage with Sean, and I worked with Triple H when he was still doing this rich boy gimmick. And, I felt like I did sell out. They chanted, "You sold out" in Madison Square Garden, and I felt like I did. I'd already been the starving artist. They chanted my name all around the world, and that's all great, but,